I find myself alone on a strange world, unequipped and in danger. I have no memory of how I got here, no sense of a before. And that's where we find ourselves at the beginning of No Man's Sky. But don't worry, you're not alone. I'll walk you through the beginning sequences of No Man's Sky, showing you all the things the game doesn't tell you, as well as the tips and tricks I've learned in over 40 fresh starts in No Man's Sky. This is my beginner's guide to No Man's Sky for 2021. I'm Survival Bob, and this guide has been built to answer as many beginner questions as possible and teach you things you probably didn't even know to ask. I've designed this walkthrough style guide for new and returning players, or anyone who feels like they may have missed something the first time around. If you do enjoy this, please hit that like button and check out my channel for other great No Man's Sky tutorials, guides, live streams, and playthroughs. Now, one of the first things you want to do when you get started playing the game is decide which mode you want to play in. I'm going to cover these because there's been a lot of questions in the past about this, so I'm going to cover it real quick here. Now, you do have up to 5 save slots, so you can play each one of these if you want to, and I recommend giving them all a try. We're going to play today in normal mode because that's what most people play in. It gives us larger stack sizes and it's not super crazy hard. Survival is more of a challenge. The slot size on this one is a big cap for most people because it's 250 items you can have per slot as opposed to the basically 10,000 that you can have in normal mode. Permadeath, same slot as survival, 250, but when you die, it's over and you're wiped and you're done. Creative lets you try it out, build or do something like that, or just try out a ship, anything like that. So let's start a brand new normal save. Now, when you first start off, you're going to be on a planet and you're not going to know anything about what's going on. You're going to hear this voice talking to you, which you'll find out is your exosuit. It's in your ear the whole game. You don't have any control at this point. I can't move the mouse. But you do want to pay attention and look as you go through. And what you're looking for is caves and little yellow highlights like that one up on the top. This does not look like a super hospitable planet, but because we are on normal mode, it's not going to be super hard and we have time. Now it's time to go. All right, now first thing I'm going to do is go into photo mode, which is X on PC and down on D-pad for console. This will allow us to pause the game and get our bearings. We can look for caves, we can look for sodium, which is that bright yellow flower I pointed out earlier, and other points of interest around. Now, if you can't find the sodium, just hide the sun by looking in a different direction and moving it like this, and you will see the glowing plants much easier. Now, the red one there is oxygen, which is used for your life support system. The yellow is sodium, which is used for your hazard protection to keep you safe from the elements. First thing we do, we've got a multi-tool. We left click, and it's going to start giving us these guides. It's going to tell us to perform a scan. Scanner is critically damaged. So the first thing we have to do is repair our scanner. In order to do that, we need ferrite dust. Ferrite dust is found in rocks, except for these kind. These are usually cobalt. So we're going to use our mining beam, which is a left click on PC, and we're going to look for rocks and we're going to hit them. It tells us how much ferrite dust we're gathering in the right hand corner. Now, it will only do this in the tutorial when it's teaching you how to build something for the first time. And now it tells us to repair the scanner. So we're going to hit tab, click multi-tool, scanner icon, and ferrite dust. And it throws the ferrite dust we gathered into it to fix it. Now it's going to teach us how to scan by pressing C, and there is some sodium right there. And I don't have enough jet boost to get there because I'm a noob and I forgot. And I'm starting to take a little bit of damage. But it's okay. See, I'm taking damage right now, but it's not that big a deal. Okay? So don't freak out. Just grab it. Now you've got some sodium. You're going to hit X to pull up your quick menu, and then I left click on PC, or you can select F to charge your equipment. Now, if you happen to spawn near a cave like me, you can just run in the cave first off to recharge your hazard protection for free, even before you get your sodium. Resource gathering is the name of the game. From the get-go, you want to gather stuff. Once you get a little farther into this game, you won't have to do a lot of mining and gathering because you can buy stuff with money. But early game, you want to gather resources. So, main resources that you're going to need are going to be carbon, sodium, oxygen, ferrite dust, and dihydrogen, which we have not gotten yet. You've got tabs across the top here. You've got your general inventory, you've got your technology, and you've got your cargo. Now, technology only allows technology modules to go here. You can't put anything else. So let's go ahead and move these technology modules out of general and put them into technology. So I like to arrange mine across the top here. Sodium, oxygen, carbon, ferrite dust, and then we'll get some dihydrogen as well. Cobalt is a mineral that we can sell. later on, so we're going to grab that other stuff. Now, these little crappy plants here, you may have them in a cave. They will give you sodium or oxygen. So I'm going to sit here and mine these up real quick and get some more resources. All right. I got a decent amount of sodium. I got a little bit of oxygen. Now, before the Origins update, we could stand here and mine up about 2,000 or 3,000 cobalt, crash the economy, become super rich. Doesn't work quite that way anymore. Don't worry, I'll show you how to make tons of money. If you do have a cave and you see these vortex cubes, grab them. It's something you can sell. Now, it used to be before the Origins update that you would get tetracobalt by doing this, by grabbing these relics. They took that out of the game, though. So if you see a guide, maybe my old guide that said you do, you don't. These will stack better in your cargo, so I'm just going to stick them in there because I can get a higher stack size there. All right, so I'm out. I'm supposed to look for the signal source. It's a little red dot on the map. And we're going to head in that direction. So my thermal protection is falling because I have left the cave. Now you can mine as you go. This blue stuff is dihydrogen. This is the other element that you're going to use a lot of early game. So grab those crystals. If you're lucky, every now and then you'll get a storm crystal by mining those, and those are worth 100,000 or more units. So yeah, mine the crap out of those and maybe you'll get lucky. All right, now my mining beam is empty, so I have to charge it. You charge it with carbon. Again, I'm going to hit X to bring this up. I'm going to hit the battery, and then I'm going to wheel across this way and go to mining beam, and I'm going to throw carbon in there. Now, I only had 15 carbon, so I got to find some more carbon. Plants are usually carbon. That is not... Is this? Yeah, okay, so that's carbon. Some of these planets, it's hard to identify what is carbon. Now, that red crystal up there in front of me, this is condensed carbon, which works in the same capacity. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this and see my weapon charge is depleted. Now, when I go to do this, it's going to give me the choice between carbon and condensed carbon, and I'm going to use condensed. It's actually more efficient to use the condensed version, if it will let you. What's up, dude? How you doing? Funky tail, huh? You're really going to be boxed in early game as far as what you can do. Now, you may want to get in the game and just roam around the planet for a long time, just looking at it your first time, do it. If you want to do that, jump in creative mode. If you're actually playing in normal or survival, you want to follow the quest or you're not going to enjoy yourself, because the quest is going to unlock different aspects of the game as you go. Now, when you get to your ship, here's your crash ship. Everybody's looks the same. It's called the Radiant Pillar. It's on fire. It sucks. You're going to have a beacon over here, and you're going to have a little setup in oxygen. So always look for the oxygen, and there should be at least 4 plants around. Sometimes you'll get lucky and find more. So you want to grab your oxygen setup, and then run over to the beacon. Here it is. And see what it says. Now, I'm not going to read all this stuff. I do that in some of my playthroughs, so check those out if you want to. But basically, this is giving you some of the lore and telling you what is going on. It's going to allow you to do something or leave. Leave does not advance the storyline. Doing the something does, and in this case, we're going to broadcast. And now it's going to tell us in the bottom right-hand corner, investigate the crash ship. So we look at it, come over on this side. No, I'm just kidding. You just run up to it, and you jump in it, which is E on PC. So the spaceship's going to allow us to leave and to go explore, and that's really the name of No Man's Sky. You want to explore. So you either can read the log and get some more information, or you can connect your exosuit and move right along. I'm going to connect the exosuit. You guys can read if you want to, but it'll loop you back around to connecting. So now it's going to teach us how to fix our ship and the things we need to do it. Now, these boxes are going to pop up periodically, and it's going to say we need pulse engines, and to do that we need to repair it with a hermetic seal and metal plating. Now, the metal plating is a craftable item. If you hover over a blank square, you can left click and you'll get your list of things you know how to craft just because. So I can craft a metal plating. You will learn more stuff later on. And then I can go from my exosuit tab. You've got Starship and Multi-Tool. I can go to my ship now, and I can look at my pulse engine, and it says I need a metal plating. I click it, and it sticks it right there. Now this, I cannot make. It says repair kit unavailable. The other thing I'm doing is I'm sitting in the ship, and I'm letting my shields recharge so I don't have to waste sodium. I'm going to hit E to jump back out of my ship, and it's going to tell me to repair the pulse engines with a metal plating and a hermetic seal. Repair the launch thrusters with dihydrogen jelly and pure ferrite. Now, dihydrogen jelly is made with dihydrogen. Again, come to the crafting menu, and you can make a dihydrogen jelly with 40 dihydrogen. So we're going to take that, stick it in the Starship, and just stick it right there. There we go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And we are done. I'm going to go check this stuff out because you always want to check out the damaged machinery. It's going to give you usually some kind of variant of fluids, goop, something. And then it's going to give me some nanites. So nanites are one of the 3 types of currency you have in No Man's Sky. You've got units, which I have 0. Nanites, I've got 32, and then quicksilver. Units are what you use to buy all this items and stuff like that, ships, multi-tools, things like that. Nanites are used pretty much exclusively for upgrading items. Quicksilver is going to give you different skins, emotes. I mean, just think Fortnite. It gives you Fortnite stuff in No Man's Sky, okay? It's Quicksilver. And it doesn't cost anything. Yay, No Man's Sky. Alright. Alright, and I'm just holding down E. I'm not pushing on E button. If you hold down E, it will just automatically grab the next item that you point at. So in this, you're going to get rusted metal. Keep the rusted metal. We're going to use it. I'll show you that later. So, starship partially repaired. Board the starship to consult for diagnostics. So it tells me to get back in my ship. It's unable to synthesize required hermetic seal. So I need assistance. Please, I need to get a planetary chart from the distress beacon. So now it's going to teach me about planetary charts. These are items that we'll be able to get throughout the game in various places, and we'll cover those as we get to them. So let's grab the chart. Alright, I'm going to vary from protocol here a little bit just because I've done this and it is helpful, okay? This is normal, so you can see how slow my thermal protection is going down. It's not that big a deal. Plus, I can recharge it before I go. So as soon as we activate this chart, it's going to trigger a timer for a storm. Now, if you're in survival or permadeath, that storm is going to beat you down, okay? So you can trigger it and then sit in your ship and wait out the storm. You can trigger it and then run for it and try to make it. Hope you find a cave where you have enough sodium along the way, and usually you can, and it's not that big a deal. I'm not going to trigger this yet. Before I do it, I want to build something. Now, I already know how to install some technology in my multi-tool. I know how to build an analysis visor, a bolt caster, and a force field. I'm not going to worry about the bolt caster or the force field yet. I'll get to that later. Nothing's going to really attack me. I don't really need it. But I am going to use the visor because that's helpful, and I hate wasting resources or not getting resources. It's going to tell me to do this as soon as I finish this mission, but I don't like to wait. Alright, so I need to build a carbon nanotube, and I don't have enough carbon. That was an issue, wasn't it? Carbon. So let's find some carbon. Is this carbon? No, I need a... Are you carbon? No? Run. Run. Alright, we got a bunch there. Now we can do it. So let's go to the multi-tool. Now, it's still flashing. The game wants me to do this, so it's going to keep flashing it until I do it. In our exosuit, we're going to craft a product, and we're going to craft a carbon nanotube. Go back to the multi-tool, click on it, and now we have the analysis visor. Now, the game is going to tell you to do this in about 5-10 minutes. But with the analysis visor, we can hold down F, and it pulls up our visor. Okay? And what this allows us to do, those red dots are animals that we haven't scanned yet. If you scan them, then they'll become green. And you scan things by holding down on them and pressing the left click. Now, the reason you want to scan things is because you will get access to a secondary element once it's identified, as well as some units every time you scan something. But I want all the things. Give me the things. Don't hide stuff from me. Okay, so that I should have analyzed. What the heck? Oh, these guys suck. Okay. Bad plants. In the analysis visor, they're going to show a little red exclamation point. Okay, but you'll learn to identify them. There's only like 3 or 4 different types. I showed you the little ones that are in the caves. You've got these snappy ones, and then you've got a couple other variants as well that maybe we'll run across. They're not on every planet. So by scanning this rock, I'm going to get ferrite dust, and I'm going to get phosphorus, which is awesome. And then I got 200 units. Remember the currency I talked about? Bam. We're getting a little bit of bucks. Not much. Now, scanning animals gives you more. We're going to talk about ways to make money as well. But I got 1,600 for that guy. That's pretty good. So you want to scan the animals. And you can get upgrades for the scanner as well to make it give you more stuff. Here's an example of a scan with 3 S-Class module upgrades. But we'll get to that later. Now let's jump in our ship real quick, recharge our suit, and then we'll pop the map and go. Alright, now that we're charged up, we're going to hit E to plot the route. And always look around to see what else is there. You see the crash ship, and then over there to the top right-hand corner, we see the distress signal. That is where we're heading. It's always uphill. I hate uphill. Uphill sucks. Such a fat, lazy traveler. Okay, so movement. When you're moving, if you hit shift on PC, you will start to run. You'll see this little guy in the bottom right-hand corner start to go down, and when it turns red, that means you're out of stamina and you gotta wait to charge back up. Now, as you're running, you're actually using more life support, so keep that in mind. Now, the other thing you can do is you can jetpack like this, okay? That helps for going up. But the thing everybody asks about is this, which is the awesome sideways jetpack. And what you're going to do is you're going to melee, which on PC is Q. Alright, so as soon as you melee, you hit the jetpack button. And there you go. Now these little blue guys are awesome because this is going to give you a fuel boost. Now be careful with this on a hill, because when it runs out, and then you smack the ground. So, I'm a trained professional. There we go, like a boss. There's the storm. And you can see I'm going to start taking heat damage a little bit faster. Look at that little guy. Alright, how far am I? If you point your beacon at it, you can see I'm 190 U. Alright, so this is what we're going for, this building. And this is going to give us the hermetic seal. Remember, you want to land softly, so give it a little tappy tap as you're coming down. Make sure you leave enough jets for that. Alright, let me grab the slime. See what's in here. Now, I have enough, so I know I'm cool. Now, something else you can do when you're looking in your visor, it'll tell you, it says I've got 23 seconds there. Tell critical exposure. That's how long I have. You kind of learn to eyeball it. Alright, let's go in here and grab the hermetic seal. And now you can see it's going up. Critical exposure's going up. I'm fine. Alright, here is the hermetic seal we were looking for. It's going to be this yellow container. Recover supplies. Log finishes. We got the hermetic seal. Somebody led me here. This is story and lore. Read this if you're interested in the story and lore, because there's a lot of it here. Alright, so I've got the hermetic seal. I got a check mark in the top left-hand corner. Now it says return to the starship to continue. Alright, now we've got a weather update. The storm is clearing, so we're good. As soon as you get that message, you're good to go. Scan a few things, because it's going to ask us to do that anyway. Alright, so there it goes. Analyze objects for rewards. We just did that. Now, the little circle says locate your starship. Get that out of the way by right-clicking. Alright, now, it's impossible to lose your ship if you have your HUD on, and you can see the little white ship marker. It's going to show up on your navigational display on top as you turn around, and as you get close enough, you'll get a little pointer icon here as well. Now, the storm's gone, so we can take our time going back. Did I scan you? Nope. You're getting scanned, buddy. 1,000. Thank you. Now you can right-click and zoom in, too. So I can scan this guy. Now you don't have to keep looking at him once you scan him. You can just keep moving. You can't run while you scan, that's the only thing. Every time I see one of these, I'm going to grab it because there's a chance that you're going to get a module upgrade. Plus, we're going to use the slime to refine into nanites later, and I'll show you that. And we got some nanites. Now over here, excuse me, buddy. Pardon me. Ow. Over here, oh, facium. Facium is actually poop, so let me put that back, and then I'm just going to throw that on the ground. I don't want it. Now, you can keep everything and sell it in the space station, but I'm not really worried about money. We'll get to money. I'll show you how to make lots of money. There are tons of different ways to make money in this game, whether you want to do it quickly or just kind of along the way. I'll show you several methods. Now, you're going to run across containers on the ground. These circle ones use an Atlas pass. It's not something you have to pay for. I've got a video on how to get it if you want. Check that out. But everything else you can grab. You can't get the stuff with the Atlas pass because we don't have an Atlas pass. See, it says Atlas pass. Looky there. Alright, now, as you see your mining beam heat up, you want to keep it as close to the edge as you can because you're going to get more resources. And so I just start tapping it and pulsing it basically as I get close to keep it there and get more resources. If you hit the edge, it's going to have to overheat and recharge, so don't do that. Yep, there, see, I did it. Which is a great opportunity to scan this. So Planet 1 is how to survive. It's basics. Then it's going to teach you how to fly, and we're going to go to Planet 2. Planet 2 is going to teach you about building the base and other things. Now, alright, so now we need life support. let me teach you guys this. This is useful, especially in permadeath. Let's go ahead and pop these geodes. I got some ferrite dust. I got 4 crystals. Come on, big money. Dihydrogen, 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 dihydrogen. Boo. Okay. So there are other things you can use to recharge yourself. You can recharge with life support gel and an ion battery. Life support gel is going to do your oxygen. Now, I don't have a ton of oxygen, and I know I'm going to need some oxygen to build a few items. So I want to have as much as I can keep. So I want to build this life support gel, which just requires dihydrogen jelly, which we can make. And then some carbon, which we have. So this life support gel will work in place of oxygen. Now, the other thing that we can do for our hazard protection is the ion battery, and this is very helpful on permadeath and survival. And you're going to need some cobalt, which we could have mined up in that cave, but I didn't feel like sitting around. So cobalt and ferrite dust will give you a battery, and that will charge your hazard protection. Now, you'll see some different looking plants, and there are some plants you can eat. So this is wheat. And going back to hazard protection, there are other ways you can fix your protection. Let me show you this. So this eat is raw ingredient for food. And if you hover over it, you can consume it. So if I consume this wheat, I just hit 2 of them, and my temperature level recovering, what that means is my hazard protection was recharged. So I can use that to recharge my hazard protection as well. There are other food items that will recharge your oxygen, and you'll see them randomly on the planets. It's really just about knowing what you can do. In early game, it does do a decent job of showing you some of it, but there are so many other alternatives that it really is easy once you know them all. Just, you know, learning them is the hard part. But don't worry, that's what bombs are here for. What the hell? God, I hate you. I hate you. Stupid plan. Alright, let's go. Ow. Now, in the top left-hand corner, you see I took some damage. I took a little bit of fall damage. Now, that's going to recharge. The top white line will recharge, but the little pluses do not. So if I take damage and I lose a plus, I've got to find a way to recharge that. And some of the plants will help you do that as well. Okay, so we're back. Pulse engine wants to be fixed. We got a hermetic seal. Now it's fixed. Everybody's happy. Now we got to fix the launch thrusters. This is where we get into refining. So it's going to tell us we need to build a refiner with pure ferrite. Now it says in the bottom right hand corner, construct the refiner, and then I'm going to hit Z on PC, and I'm going to need 30 oxygen and a metal plating. Bam. So we go in our refiner. We're going to use carbon or condensed carbon to charge it. 100 carbon or 34 condensed carbon. Again, condensed is more efficient, so I'm going to use that. We can condense 100 carbon into 50 condensed carbon, so that's where you see the efficiencies really shine. Let's throw some ferrite dust. We need ferrite dust, pure ferrite, so let's go ahead and start that. And it says we need 50, so let's try to stop it right at 50. Come on. Oh, there we go. Nailed it. First time. All right. And while we have this out, I'm going to go ahead and refine some other things that I know are refinable. The first is the fluids. So that's going to turn into slime, but that's going to take a couple iterations. So let me grab the metal, and that's going to turn it into ferrite dust. So 1 metal turns into 2 ferrite dust. So we'll go ahead and refine that. It takes 30 seconds to do it. And while we're doing that, we will fix the launch thrusters. Super hard. Okay, so now we're good to go. And it says we can go launch into space. All systems functional, pick up the refiner, and it tells you how to pick it up. You look at it and you press the middle mouse button. But what I want to do is fix this. So just like your exosuit, your starship has these tabs, general and technology. Technology only allows technology stuff. So I'm going to put stuff over here to give myself some more room. And put the pulse engines over there, because I'm going to use this more often. Alright, so let's grab our ferrite dust out. You know what, we'll refine some more stuff later. Now when you pick it up, you're going to get the carbon back. It changes the condensed carbon into carbon for some reason, so it fills us back up with carbon. You know what, I'm going to grab a little bit of cobalt while I'm here, so I can make a battery. Now let's go ahead and make a battery while we're here. And another life support gel, which requires dihydrogen. So bam. So now we don't have to use our oxygen and sodium, we can use these items instead. Now if you've got a ton of oxygen and sodium and you want to do that, go for it. Another way to get sodium early game is to grab this cave marrow and refine it. That'll turn into sodium as well. But I'm not really sweating sodium at this point. Alright, so we're in our ship. Hold W to take off. So this is where the game will teach us to fly. Now, tritium is going to be your fuel for your pulse engine, which is right here. Your thrusters are going to use a different type of fuel, which we'll talk about in a moment. Now, I hate flying in first person. Some people love it. I don't. So I'm going to hit X on PC. I think it's down on D-pad. And then I'm going to wheel over to utilities. I click it, and then I can wheel through several options. I'm going to switch my view. I like to look at the butt of my ship while I fly. And you hit W to launch, and you'll notice my launch thrusters went down, and now I'm at 25%. So if you want to fly around the planet, knock yourself out, check things out. But when you're ready, head into space. Now when you get into space, you're going to have to test your thrusters, your boosters, and your pulse engines so that the game knows you know how to do it. Once you've done all three of those, you'll get a check mark, and then you'll get a signal source to go to the next planet. And you're going to see asteroids everywhere. Shoot the asteroids. They're going to give you gold, silver, and tritium, which is going to be your fuel source. You are not just alone. I'm about to hit this. Can you hurry up? I'm about to hit this thing. Hurry, dude. Come on. Input data. Thanks. Bro, seriously. Navigational data received. Alright, so let's shoot a few of these just because I said you could. And see, we get some gold and silver. Okay, so we've got a marker. It tells us where to go. Something else I want to show you early game. If you're interested, if you want to skip ahead, here's an opportunity to do it. Go back to your first person view. Now you'll see that little globe, and you see all the little circles are planets, and there's a little diamond. That diamond is the space station, but they don't want you to go there yet until you go to the second planet. However, you know, if you want to do cheaty and go to the space station, you just got to do it manual flight. They won't give you the coordinates to follow. But there you go, pro tip. Alright, so let's point at the marker and pulse. Now as we're flying, we can press C to scan the planet and see what we're going towards. Incandescent planet, selenium, copper, phosphorus, salt. So this is another hot planet like the one we just left because it had selenium on it as well. I'm going to stop the pulse engines by hitting space and just look around and see what these other planets are, because we may not want to stay on the second planet. We have to go there, but we may choose a different one. So this is acidic planet, fungal mold, parched planet. Okay, so that sounds hot. Glacial. Okay, so that one's cold. So we got hot, cold, parched, high temperature. Yeah, so this kind of sucks, which is good for this tutorial because everybody's like, oh, you always get the best planets. I don't. So let's go back to where we were heading. When you're coming, you want to slow down by hitting S. Now, I'm going to nose up and just kind of look around a little bit. You can also hit C and scan. And if there's something really close to you, a lot of times they'll pick it up on the scanner. Oh, look at those funky things. All right, so there's nothing super close here. Good. Last time there was something super close and people got mad because it's not always there. All right. So you're going to hit E to land. It seems to be easier to land in first person. I'm going to switch back to third person because that's how I do. Look at that landing. Right between the stuffs. Good job. Alright, so we're here. Alright, see that little circle thing with the pointy thing? It looks kind of, I don't know what it looks like. It looks like a boob. Okay, that's what it looks like. That's pointing at a sentinel. That's these guys over here. Now, these guys don't like it when you mine stuff. So when I start mining stuff, this guy's going to come over, look at me, and then start shooting me in the face. Because they don't much appreciate it. Let's grab this real quick. Decipher the signal. Decoding 161616. We're going to get our base computer. Let's extract the plans. Now the base computer will give you free stuff if you keep going back to it every 90 minutes in game. So if you're into free stuff, do that. If you're not into free stuff, ignore it. Alright, so now it says it wants me to make a terrain manipulator. Alright, so we're going to go to our multi-tool. We're going to hit E to install. Click on the terrain manipulator, and it'll tell us 2 carbon nanotubes and 1 dihydrogen jelly. So let's see what we got. None of that. So let's make a dihydrogen jelly. And then let's make 2 of these. Now, if you look at the bottom, it says build. For PC, it's A and D. We'll change the number so you can build 2. I can't remember what it is on Xbox and PlayStation, but it'll tell you if you just look down there. Then we go to our multi-tool. And clickety-clickety. Right, this Sentinel is really attentive. Where is he? Is he around my ship or something? There he is. Okay. Alright. It's freaking me out. Alright, so, look at that dude. Holy crap. Dude. You are special. It's like a turtle, bunny, kangaroo, platypus thing. I just like to say platypus. You'll also see the Sentinels with that. They'll show up on your scanner. So, see, he's scanning things, and he doesn't like it if you shoot them. But if you shoot them from a distance, he's going to focus on the target instead of where it's coming from, so if you're far enough back, he won't really notice. Let me do this before I forget. Every time you see one of these, once you have a terrain manipulator, you're going to, if you look around, you'll see a little blue icon here. This is a buried technology module. You can also see them like this by looking through your visor. You see there's one over there. It's 377U. And this one is right here. So grab that, and you want to use your terrain manipulator, which is already ready, and you will dig a hole in the ground down to it. And make sure the Sentinel's not mad at me. Looks good. Grab the technology module, because you're going to need these for the base point. So grab that. Alright, it's back to the program. It says we need copper. Now, this is where it teaches you how to mine minerals. And if you want to play the game properly, you can do this. Look through your visor, and you're going to look for little white squares that say copper. That's a salt deposit. Copper, 490. Phosphorus, 500. So we can go over to this copper, and we can mine it ourselves with the terrain manipulator. Or we can do a little trick and grab some copper out of our ship with an item that I never use. Now, you may use it, and if you do, go get yourself copper over there. But I don't like to do that because I'm lazy, I don't like to walk, and I hate missiles in ships because I'm not good with them. So if you hover over the rocket launcher and you dismantle it, it goes away, and you get 100 copper and 50 condensed carbon. Since I don't need it, I'm going to do that. So now I've got my copper. The game recognizes it. It says go ahead and refine it. And that's going to refine into 2-for-1 50 chromatic metal. This looks just like the planet we were just on, doesn't it? Kind of sucks. I mean, it's pretty much the same damn thing. So we may just go to a different planet because I don't like it here. Well, let's go grab that buried technology because we're going to need it. You need 3 buried technology to build your base at a bare minimum. Alright, now this is a salt deposit. It's the same as the copper deposit would have been. You can mine it up with your terrain manipulator. Now, one trick on the terrain manipulator is you can increase and decrease the size of your mining bubble. The smaller the bubble, the more resources you're going to collect, but the longer it takes, and vice versa. Larger bubbles, less resources, but you get a bigger hole. Now, I don't know what controls this is on the wiki because it doesn't tell me, but on computer I'm pretty sure it's Q and E to increase and decrease because I do it all the time by accident when I'm hitting the melee button. So look, small bubble, big bubble, I get less, okay? Now the other cool thing with the terrain manipulator is you have to recharge it. You can recharge it with ferrite dust, or if you roll over, silicate powder, which is basically the dirt that you are mining up by accident along the way. So we'll just throw that in there instead of using our ferrite dust. Now, if you're just wanting to dig a hole, bigger is better. So, dig you a big old hole. Grab that stuff. Alright, we're good to go. We got 2 more. I fell in the hole, because that's what I do. Alright, so, why didn't you do that? Sometimes it doesn't do the last one. I don't know why. Alright, what else can we refine while we're waiting? Let's go ahead and do this fluids. That's going to take 2 minutes. And then, so the fluids turn into living slime. The living slime is going to turn into, I think, mold. We'll see. And then that's going to turn into nanites. It's a process. Oh, what do we have here? So this is a humming sack. These are near caves. So there's a little bit of a cave here. And it's spilled out to the outside. You see these little 3 lines, humming sack. If I open that up, it's going to give me an albino pearl. I'm probably saying that wrong. And that's worth some money too. So that's worth 9,000 units. So we'll grab it. And remember, we had these vortex cubes that are worth 5,800 each, or 29,000 for those 5. So just pick up little things along the way to make some money. Now, every time you see one of these, you can save and chart. Do it. It's going to give you a piece of navigational data, and it's going to tell you discovered this thing, and it's going to give you a hard save. So there's my navigational data. All right, so now it wants me to build my base computer. So let's hit Z to bring up the construction menu. As soon as I drop this, it's going to start me on a quest line, which is going to bring another storm in, and it basically wants you to build a house, and it's going to show you that protects you from storm damage as well. Now this place sucks, but I'm going to go ahead and build a house here anyway, and we're probably just going to pick it up and move, which you can do. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, so let's drop the base computer. So let's claim it. All right. So now we have a base. There's nothing at our base, but we've got one. It's right here. All right, so the base computer is online. Now we can talk to it again, and it's going to start telling us stuff and giving us things. Here's where we get our plans to build a basic wooden structure. Ooh, that's kind of a cool ship. We might have to look for that. All right, so we learned the basic wooden floor parts, and it says construct a base. Now, what you see in the picture, you can't build that yet. You got to learn a lot more stuff before you can build that. All you can build is a basic wooden structure. Again, you're going to hit Z on PC, and it's going to bring up this menu, and you see you've got tech, which shows us the portable things. You've got wooden. This is all we know. The more we get, the more this will expand out and get really kind of a little bit too much, to be honest. Alright, so I'm going to build it so I can grab my refiner and my base computer from the door, if possible, because I'm lazy. And then you wheel over and let's get a door. Throw one right here. This uses carbon. And you can build as big a one as you want. I'm just going to build a little Bob box, which is what I have patented here. And we'll build a better base later. Right there. Alright. And we made it before the storm got here. And once we're in here, our temperature levels stabilize and our hazard protection goes back up. Very nice. Now, another thing you can do, sometimes it does it automatically, but you can go to X, hit the utilities, and you can turn your light on. Sometimes it turns on automatically, sometimes it doesn't, but if you want to turn your light on, that's how you do it. Base computer, go back, talk to it. All right, so now construction, we got to recover some salvage data, which we've started doing already. Scans indicate additional subterranean devices. Begin searching. So now we learn a construction research unit, and this is the kind of stuff you're going to get from this computer as you go through the game. Let's check our refiner real quick. Slime, drop it over here. I was right, mold. There we go. Keep on and moving. Hop inside. And it wants us to build the construction thing. To do that, we need magnetized ferrite, which we have to make in the refiner. So to make magnetized ferrite, you're going to throw ferrite dust, you're going to turn that into pure ferrite, and then you're going to refine the pure ferrite into magnetized ferrite. So here we go. Okay, there we go, 40 on the dot. We get 20 of this. All right, we'll throw the slime back in there. Keep working while the storm is happening. Now, I could bring that inside if I wanted to. I can't move your base computer, though. You can't move your base computer once it's down. And I need a carbon nanotube, of course. Here we go. Here we go. Construction. So now it teaches us about salvage data, which Bob already taught you about. You look for those little icons, the little white ones that turn blue when you get to them, and you dig them up. Now, and that gives you the salvage data. Now this is cool. Look at the value of this. It's worth 50,000 a piece, 200,000 for the 4 total that I have. So you can sell this early game to make money, or you can use it for blueprints. These are all over the place. You can run around and dig them up, and that's an early game way to make some money. So we're going to do what it takes to get us to the point of allowing us to go to the space station, and then we'll pick up our base and take it with us and go park it somewhere else. Or we just leave this one here and build another one. You can build as many as you want. Research buildable technology. Okay, so now we need a base teleporter, which is 2. We're going to need a reactor, a biofuel reactor to fuel it. And as we do it, it opens up more options, okay? The wiring is free, so let's grab that. And then that takes us down to more efficient power sources. You've got solar and battery power. Now, get this unlocked. It's going to take 11 total to use the solar, and then you need the battery to charge to use at night if you want to power your base. Now, I'll show you some sneaky ways to get around without having to power your base until you're ready to. But the first couple times I played, I was all about this. Now, kind of skip it. The biofuel reactor is all you need to power the teleporter, okay? Now, I've got one salvage data left. I'm going to use that for a signal booster. This is purely my choice. I'm going to get a free signal booster a little bit later on, but the signal booster helps me make some early game money and find some things. And I like to explore and find some things. So I got the signal booster. Now, we need metal platings, like a lot, so let's build 5 of them. And then we're going to need some carbon nanotubes, I think. Maybe 2? Let's see. It'll tell us. Hit Z. Alright, so what we're building is none of this stuff. So I'm gonna, if you look at the bottom, it tells you the buttons for how to navigate this thing. It's right click, and that takes you to the one row down. And we're gonna go to General, and we're gonna grab this, which takes 2 carbon nanotubes and 4 metal plating. Got it. Good job, Bob. You remembered stuff. Alright, now, because I don't want to go outside and take storm damage, I'm gonna hit C, and that frees up a build camera. Now, if you're in the build camera outside in a storm, it's not gonna give you damage either. I just like to be inside. Storm's clearing anyway. Alright, so let's slap that right there. Alright, so we built that, and now we need the, not portable, power. Here we go. Biofuel reactor, which requires 1 metal plating and some oxygen. Let's stick it right there, because I like to just cram it all in one place. Then we got to wire it. Now, you see a little dot. It's going to click on that. When it lights green, you know you're connected. So just click the wire there. Bam. And it's good. Red means it's not powered. Okay? So, we did what we were supposed to do. Let's wait for the computer to catch up, because sometimes you will go faster than it tells you to. Oh, it wants me to rename my base now. You can rename it by clicking here and typing something in. I'm not going to do that. You can also upload your base. If you upload your base, other players will be able to see it and mess around with it depending on your settings. They can't steal your stuff or take anything from you, but they could build around it depending on your settings. But you can set all of this to not allow people to build or to do anything. All right, and if you want to affect these settings, go to the Options tab, hit Network. You can change all of these different add base parts, delete base parts, show ship marker, all of these things you can switch however you want. No one, friends only, group and friends, or anyone. And yeah, decide how you want to play the game. Now, if you need your No Man's Sky friend code, you go to the View No Man's Sky Friends list, and you click on that. You go to Show No Man's Sky friend code at the bottom, and it will show you your No Man's Sky friend code. Well, you know what? Upload it, bam. Why not? Doesn't hurt. I'm not worried about people messing with my box. So now I'm waiting. It says supply the base teleporter. This is what I was waiting for. So let's go to the biofuel reactor. Now, first time I did this, it killed me because you click on this and you have to put in carbon, condensed carbon or oxygen, and you pick it up and I'm like, I don't want to put it all in there. That is not fun, and it doesn't tell you how to put less in there right now. But if you go over to your inventory menu and pick it up, you can see you can change the stack size by 10 with the W and S, or you can do quick split, which cuts it in half with the C. Okay, so if you want to just split a stack, there you go. Now, you can do that in the biofuel reactor as well. Just click this, and I'm just going to split it down to 1. And I charged it, and I get the little green check mark. I'm good to go, and I didn't waste all of my carbon. What the hell is that? We might have to go check that out, fellas. That is weird. Now, if you want to look a little bit more at the stuff you have discovered, if you hit escape, whoa, look at that thing. It's going to give you more tabs. You've got your discoveries, catalog, milestones, log, guide, and options. So in your discoveries, it's going to show you the last thing you scanned. Crazy. If you right click, it'll kind of back out of that. So I discovered 2 animals here. This guy. Some funky animals on this planet. And then this is the planet. I keep backing out of it and I can see the system. It says unknown even though I scanned them because I haven't landed on them. Now, you can take this data and you can upload it. Uploading this data will make it so that you are the discoverer of it whenever anybody else comes here. If you don't upload it, then nobody knows you discovered it, so you don't get credit for it. But in addition to getting credit for it and having your name on it forever, you get some nanites. So let's go ahead and upload it. And we got some nanites right there. Bam. How many did we get? 96. Not bad. All right, so base computer is back online. We've done everything we're supposed to do here. Let's go talk to it again. Alright, so now it wants us to go to the space station. I clicked it way too quickly, but that's what it says, go to the space station. Nothing else to do here. Now, basically at this point, you can run around and do whatever you want and go to the space station. Now, the game still isn't completely open to you yet because you need your hyperdrive to leave this solar system. But we won't get that until we follow the quest line a little bit further. Alright guys, that's 2 hours crammed into 45 minutes. I hope it was helpful for you. If it was, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more. We're going to do one more episode. In the next episode, we are going to go to the space station. We're going to get a shot at our first freighter. We're going to get a butt ton of money, start making nanites, and I'm going to get you set up to go enjoy this game on your own. Thanks for watching. This is Survival Bob saying, if you're going to be a Bob, have fun with it, and if you're going to play No Man's Sky, make sure you learn all the tricks. Bob will teach you. Don't worry. Just come on. We'll go. Let's go. Let's go. I'll show you. We'll see you next time, guys.